work here is finished. Now, what is this mission you spoke of? Major Sanan is involved?
Alright, Adrian and I want your help preventing a possible plague of terramorph attacks.
A plague of terramorph attacks. That is disconcerting. You are docked at one of a kind. I will meet you there.
Okay, guys, we're back. Uh-oh. And guess where we are?
Attention vessel, you have entered restricted space. This world is off limits. You are advised to jump to safe harbor immediately.
Well, hey, we're gonna go with the first option. I'm cleared to be here. I'm meeting with Commander Hatum.
Let me check my logs. Alright, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
Setting down. Everything agreed.
Okay, so we have a mod loaded that has changed up my game a little bit. So this is the first time that we're gonna be here. Just installing that mod.
Inside the barriers, double time! You a casino unit? You're heading to command, far end of the compound.
Do I really need to be picking up all this? Nope. But can I help myself? Nope.
myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were an eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like this. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Sure is.
Commander Hatum. I've no need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinium is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other?
Understood. Don't expect backup.
Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field. No argument here. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city.
Roger that.
While you're out there, don't trust what the voices tell you.
Okay. Shouldn't be many voices telling me anything, really. But thank you.
Woman after my own heart.
Pardon?
The nerve.
You match our description. The Vanguard captain? The cabinet wanted you to have something. Make sure you had the best tools for the task at hand. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you. Ooh, micro.
Heard you're going out there willingly. Damn.
Okay. So, first thing you can see, we're gonna have to deal with frostbite, burns, stuff like that. But we just picked up a crap ton of stuff that we possibly don't need to be lugging around. That one seems very interesting. We should give that to one of the ladies. Oh. Uh-oh.
Give him one for me, all right? Transfer's complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to most facilities in the city. System should shut itself back down automatically.
Duly noted, Commander.
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this?
Wait, are you nervous?
Yeah, just pre-mission jitters. You hear about a place for so long, it maybe gets bigger in your head than it should be. But you don't need to worry about me. I'll be all right. Now, are we doing this or not?
We sure are. I'm ready.
Then let's get this show on the road.
Where's our robot? Can't do anything without the robot. And so we have robot. We have no robot, but we do have
Kaiser? First of all, everything clean on your end?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Alright,
We out here.
on our way into the city.
But it's
Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
Shit. These things, they're all dominated. Clean them out and keep an eye out for the more controlled. Not another one for me. Want a dance? Looks like the last of them. No sign of the morph, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, we close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
alright, this is our cache that you Go ahead and load up. Again, not really needing most of the stuff, but not gonna pass it up. Seriously.
All Achilles samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Where's it?
Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival? You see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
We've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
All right.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinium. Real marvel.
Okay.
Hey, when we're next in the neighborhood, can we stop by Neon for a bit? I have a little business there.
Tell how I feel about these things.
All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
When you have a something I'm going to discuss. What can I help you with?
Where are we going? Okay.
What's that?
My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only...
What's happening? Captain, have you seen this?
Are terramorphs.
What? No. It can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live... That means terramorphs. Oh my god.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
Well, we just witnessed. It can't be how all terramorphs are born, right?
No, Lazarus plants can't grow anywhere but here, let alone blossom. People have tried. Plus, if what we just witnessed was happening anywhere else, well, it wouldn't just be Londinium lost to these things. What we just saw, it must be some kind of alternate growth method. One that winnows 70 years of maturation into seconds. It's incredible.
What does this mean for the plans to clean up the terramorphs?
That I don't have an answer for right now. But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and terramorphs. The Aciles we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both.
This feels kind of like a pretty major discovery.
Pretty major is right. But if what we just saw, if that's possible... The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up?
I can't imagine what it'd take to pull something like that off.
Me neither. You'd have to know this all exists, first and foremost.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
Well,
We proceed.
you got a point there. Hold on. We're not leaving the money. That was 10K. We're not leaving the rice either. Okay. All right, I'm ready to proceed.
Engaging.
Where's this going?
All right, let's get to the bottom of this. First, I have something. Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis.
no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here?
I think it means the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attack in New Atlantis.
Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks. A bioweapon no one would recognize as one. Oh, that's a terrifying prospect. Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. And the sort of thing whoever did this probably didn't expect us to uncover. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the Terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion.
But didn't you say this plant can't grow anywhere but here?
It can't. At least, I didn't think it could. But maybe if we're right about this, someone found a way.
I guess it might be. Alright, so yeah, it is a bit suspicious.
They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
Alright, I got some ideas. But it's way too irresponsible to just start hurling some accusations here.
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is this way. I am unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office, upper floor.
Captain. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And... Ah, Captain. I think I see it.
I suppose you want me to do something.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning.
Guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral! It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility. Other than our casualties? Yes, sir. Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible. Thank God. None of us wanted to go down slow by those things. That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he?
I guess that's how it looks.
He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was Yes. Exactly what we all thought he was. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all, taking the secret to his grave. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly how he feared.
True story. I'm still debating. Listen, look. We should get moving. We've got some work. We got work.
Right. Settled systems are counting on us.
We got no problem.
Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
Well, to tell you the truth, I can't really tell any difference. This time around compared to last time.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
I know you do, but we're kind of in the middle of something, okay? We're kind of in the middle of a place. Okay? You have to wait. True love just makes shit that crazy. Head. About to lose some fingers and toes. Frostbite. You're over here, you know. Alright. That's everything. Alright. he went down way too quick.
Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
We didn't even have to use the emergency deployment.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Gotta be careful shooting up here, 'cause they got robots roaming.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion.
Sure did. Kaiser's got all the samples in storage.
Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
Sure isn't. Plenty of suspects, that's for sure.
That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime. New Atlantis.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Thank you, Captain. Once you finish your investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
Okay. Looks like that's everything. Alright. I think it's time to get off of this planet.
I have something I need to discuss with you. Can I help?
Well,
I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first.
have I done something wrong?
No, not at all. This is something that's been weighing on my mind for a long time. I was hoping if I talked about it with you, I could get your opinion. That's all.
Okay. Hey, if it'll help you decide, I'm here to listen.
Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless.
That's pretty close to captain, right?
In my case, I was third in command, which has a lot to do with the story. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the Eta Cassiopeia system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. Including my own.
Oh man. You know, if this is too difficult for you, we don't have to continue.
No. This is important. I need to tell you this. The ship was barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship, but I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight.
I'm gonna say, I would have done the same.
I believe you. But you haven't heard the worst of this. We fought for hours, but the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. The last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface. There was nothing I could do.
That's true. I'm sorry. My condolences to your crew.
Thank you. But condolences can't reverse what I've done. I was caught up in the moment. An inexperienced captain making rash decisions that cost people their lives.
Abandoning ship doesn't sound like anything that cost people lives.
Try telling that to their loved ones. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal. I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial.
How did you get off of the Dauntless?
After I checked every section of the ship for wounded crew, I took the other escape shuttle. If I hadn't, I would have died. The Dauntless came apart minutes after I escaped.
Well, at least you're alive to honor their legacy.
That's true. But still, it doesn't erase the real issue here. Remember when you said no one but me would have pushed harder to keep the Navigator core going? Well, this time, pushing too hard cost lives. Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart. That's why I'm worried about us.
Well, worried about us?
Look, it's clear the two of us are becoming more than partners. We're becoming close friends. Even though I've pushed people away in the past, I feel different when I'm around you. I feel safer, comfortable, not afraid to admit who I am. I'm terrified I'm going to screw that up.
Look. See, the way that this game started out, and I think I've made it clear from the very beginning, there's very little you could say that would change my opinion about you.
You still have faith in me. I don't even know what to say. I never realized how much you cared about me.
Well, now you do. I'll never stop having faith in you, sir.
I'm counting on that. Look, I think I've said all I can handle for now. Thank you for being there, for listening to me when I needed it the most. I'll never forget this. I promise.
Good. Okay. You.
Wings tight?
Yeah, everything's good.
Stay in orbit or jump.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we don't have any contraband. what his role is in all this.
You should see some the ships we get landing here. Like their owners, before decorating their ship with
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep. Okay.
All right.
I wonder if I'll miss you about it.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay
Yeah,
here.
life on Jemison ain't exactly friendly. So hard to spread out. Only higher and higher for the sky. Pretty easy to forget about those left in the bottom.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinium of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
All right, look, man. I don't know. Is there anything you want to tell me about your time in Londinium?
I haven't been to Londinium in many years.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for?
All right, look, man. Don't play dumb.
Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that?
You should have aimed better when you bombed Londinium. We found the evidence.
That's quite the claim, Captain. I hate to think what would happen if such a patently untrue statement reached the ears of the cabinet. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Look. I got no plans. I just want to know the truth.
You want to hear the words, then?
Yep.
I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinium, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Retribution. associate. Who you working with?
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
It's personal.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found.
Yep,
but we were at war.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinium spaceport. Fixing two problems at once.
Made sense.
Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
But you could have at least got the people off the planet first. You didn't even trust your own people.
These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinium at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death? It was the only option that made sense at the time.
Maybe it is better if fewer people know about it.
Precisely. In that moment, I couldn't allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy?
No, they were cowards.
We were sacrificed when all we did was serve.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else.
Well,
his
psychological
decades on the run brought to
conducted
an end by another unlikely hero. You.
So, okay, two things. All right, and hopefully I get to ask them both. Why do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor? Well, I just answered that question for myself. How did you coordinate all this from right here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient. Dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
And so I'm just your cleanup crew. You must think you're very clever.
Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. Maybe more. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
I suppose there have been some benefits to all this.
Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlez and Orlez alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
That's a carrot that... I already know what work you're talking about.
Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlez. Track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks.
Alright, well. You're a monster. But the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Fine. I'll make sure everything gets pinned on Orlez.
Splendid. Then I won't keep you. You've got important work, after all. Here's to a bright future.
I need a bath. Multiple.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
You've got something for me?
Yeah, let's get moving.
All right, let's go.
Alright, we gotta go talk to Hadrian in person.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Oh, boy. Alright, there was this man, Dr. Reginald Orlays. He perpetrated the attacks.
Orlays? Reginald Orlays?
Yeah.
He did this?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was still alive.
He's not.
You're sure it was him?
You knew Orlays?
Oh, yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orlays. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the Colony War. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this?
Yeah. Positive evidence on its way to the cabinet now. Right. Yeah.
I don't know much about Orlays, but anyone with a sick mind like that needs to be tried for his crimes and then dealt with appropriately.
You were there with
That's
me
some
when we killed
impressive
him.
work.
Or
So
when he
then
took
give
his
us
own
the
life.
rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in?
I tried. But he took his own life instead of coming peacefully.
I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant?
Not sure. I never found a confession.
I can't imagine the amount of work it took to deploy the Lazarus plant off-world. Strange to go to all that trouble and not state your reasons.
Well, the man knew how to hold a grudge. I wouldn't be shocked if this was him getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
I guess. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
Okay, first about Orlays. There might not have been a confession because we got to him before he expected us to. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so which method of dealing with the Terramorphs are you two leaning towards?
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker.
I'm in agreement.
If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0.
Right.
So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in. See if they have a preference.
Just remember, you've got heat leeches all over the place. And some have been out there for decades. So they're going to turn into them sooner than later. Alright. So both approaches to clearing the worlds are going to be effective against the heat leeches?
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Aseles seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
What kind of risk are there if we decide to bring back the Aseles?
Aseles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aseles, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Okay, well, that's all I got. Let's head in there.
And here we go.
this, we need a nice long path. Where one that we just don't come out from weeks.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
That's correct, ma'am. It was a deliberate attack.
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
Yeah, it was Orlais.
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinium.
Reginald Orlais? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
No, it didn't.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlais might have been involved in the attacks?
No, ma'am. Not at all. We just thought we were dealing with a known criminal.
Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlais triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the captain and Major Sanan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice. It seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Ma'am, securing the plant isn't enough. It should be wiped out.
We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
Well, destroying it and asking the Freestart Collective to help us, that proves that the UC has no ill intentions against anyone. Should also bolster relations.
Yes, absolutely. The UC has to be as transparent as possible from now on. Otherwise, we could be risking a second colony war.
That is an idea with some merit to it. Decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our two factions.
You know it.
Two birds with a single stone. Very well. We'll include the collective in the removal process. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain.
My pleasure.
So then, to our final topic. The cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution.
Yep.
The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Well, I'll say this. Terramorphs have caused enough damage. We need to wipe them out as quickly as possible with the microbe.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
I doubt there's another body in the galaxy that could pull it off.
Absolutely correct. There are no better hands in the galaxy for this project than ours.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately.
I am so unworthy.
Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Decorum, sir. Alright, well, what's a Class 1 citizen?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Well, thank you then. Thank you, Madam President.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly.
That is
He
correct.
should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Roger that. All right.
Citizen Class 1. Not bad for you and Hadrian doing all the hard work.
Yeah. Hey.
Comfy beds, too.
Captain, I guess we've got our assignments. I just wanted to say, I could have never guessed where all this was going to lead. But what you've done for Percival, for me, for everyone, well, there aren't words to express how grateful I am.
Well then, let's keep it going. Come with me.
You know I can't do that. I've got an assignment. But I wouldn't be upset if you came by the HQ every now and then. Remind me how much I owe you.
Well, you know, I was just glad I was able to help.
Well, I think it's safe to say you succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It's been an honor, Captain. Good luck out there.
I'll see you soon. She is one of my favorite characters. Alright, so Robin wants to go to Neon. She will eventually want to go to Cassiopeia. now, we'll wrap things up by talking to Commander Tuala. Hey, bro.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
It's a nice day.
Well, thank you, Commander. It's an honor.
No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
12K. Well, that's incredibly generous.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
I think I'd like to start out helping Percival with those new alien threats.
Sure. He'll have all the specifics. If you find yourself looking for more work, you know where to find me.
All right, thanks, man. There you have it. The world is our oyster. We are now Class 1 citizens, well, I am. And we have lied to everybody. We feel completely and utterly unclean at this point. But this is our burden to bear. Look, my team is just walking away. So next time we got to start doing some things. We got a lot of things starting to fall into play. One is we have to decide: are we going to do Neon first, and then go get Andrasia, and then go do, and then maybe move right into Shattered Space since that's available. And then, because we still got a deputized that we can still do. We still got SysDef with the Crimson Fleet. We're still in process with Ryujin. So there's a lot of things we still got outstanding here. A lot of things. So I think I'm gonna hit Neon next, and then we'll go from there, since that did pop up. All right. So go to Neon. Robin wants me to go to Neon. What has she wrapped herself up in now? Yeah. So that's next. Okay. Well, guys, that'll be it for tonight. And we will see you next time. Remember, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All right. And I appreciate everything you guys do. And we will see you next time. Later.